I often meet people who ask me, when should I start preparing for my GRE? Let me see what are these people. I classify them into three groups and I cater to these three groups in two different talks here. The first group is GRE aspirants who have already finished their undergraduate studies or even their postgraduate studies and are either working or waiting for their first job to start. For you, there are two options. One, when do you want to start your graduate program abroad? Because if you feel you should take some work experience, and no, I'm not asking you to get work experience because I personally have a very different take on whether one should accumulate work experience before getting into a non-business graduate program. But if you believe that you should, look at it from the perspective of deadlines. With programs opening their applications as early as August now, the funding opportunities in top programs are sliding further up the months. And that is one way for the programs to check how sincerely, how diligently have you been preparing for your graduate studies. Because pulling it off the last minute might give you a kick, but it might also get you a kick from the admissions committee. Better planning is important. So check the deadlines and count backwards. Where are you right now? Do you want to start with a target score in mind? How much does it take in terms of number of days or months or weeks? If you eventually will go to a test prep company for your aptitude preparation, I strongly suggest you ask them to work out a plan for you. If you are going to prepare on your own, look at it this way. On an average, considering you start at a zero level, what do I mean by a zero level? If you take the GRE Power Prep to assess your level and realize you are between a 270 and a 290, take that as a zero level, you will need another 300 hours to get a decent score. What do I mean by a decent score? I mean something in the range of 305 to 315. How did I arrive at that number? I am a manager. I obviously need to clarify my calculations. So here you go. You will solve at least 2 reference books, usually 3, not including the official guide to the revised GRE, which as such does not have a huge question bank. If you finish one book in a month, sparing around 16 to 20 hours a week, that is around 80 hours a month, and between 200 to 240 hours for overall solving. That will take you to the tests and some online practice also. Even if you appear for barely 5 full-length practice tests, that adds up to 20 hours. Many of you will want to practice more because online testing in a way affects your confidence significantly. So let's triple this time of solving, considering all types of questions and test format, the shorter tests, the full-length tests and the others. That puts you in a bracket of 260 to 300 hours. Most of you will dedicate more because it takes time to achieve a self-convincing accuracy of 75 to 80% overall, especially when you refer online or in your reference book and realize that an 80% accuracy in quantitative reasoning is only worth a 160. Oh yes, when I say reference books, I mean the GRE preparation books available in the market. So you up the ante, you increase the number of hours to improve your accuracy. With a number of 300 hours plus or minus 20%, now work out backwards. How many hours can you spare a day? That should tell you your tentative date of GRE. Or maybe you might already have an application deadline approaching and you can therefore divide the number of hours with available number of days. And yes, because programs accept applications till midnight of the deadline by Eastern Standard Time or simply American time, which is a good 9 hours behind India, you can take the test on the application deadline itself. Surprised? I mean, how can you submit an application on the application deadline? What about the applications then? My question is, why do you think you can't work on the application simultaneously? You might ask, how can I? Till I have no idea, where am I applying? Why do you have to leave everything to the last moment? Why can't you list out your 10 programs before you start applying? Choose your programs, start working on the applications, submit them only after your score. Because working on applications takes time and is free. Submitting these applications is a 2-minute task and will require application fees. And if your letters of recommendation are delayed beyond the application submission date, no problems at all. Universities understand that it is something not under your complete control. And all of this multitasking might be required only if you delay your GRE till the deadline. So then ask yourself, what is your priority? Taking the test early, getting a score, and working on applications the conventional route? If you feel that taking the test early will not affect your score due to a time crunch, follow the conventional route. But if getting a big score is a top priority and taking the test late might actually help you improve your final score by a good 10 to 15 points, you might want to be prepared for the multitasking. One more thing, should you be prepared to take an off from your work in the last few days? Honestly, a very subjective thing. You might want to give yourself an uninterrupted duration of preparation in the last week, or you might be fine with a regular 3 to 4 hours a day in the last week along with your job. Pretty much a matter of mental makeup and tenacity. So this was about people who have somewhere around 6 months plus or minus 2 months to go to the deadline. But if you are a working professional who is targeting a later intake, let's say more than 12 months to the deadline, still ask yourself, what is the harm in getting started early? Because the more experience you get, the more involved you become, the more projects come your way, the fewer hours you might be left with 6 or 12 months down the line to prepare for your GRE. So why wait till the point where you must spare 3 hours a day? You could always start at 1 hour a day. There is no harm in taking the GRE 8 months before a deadline. That is my opinion. Look at your schedule, identify that 1 hour that you will spare consistently, and if you can do it consistently, go ahead and get started. The word is consistency. The word is discipline. Happy solving.